Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I'm not sure what time it will be with you as you're watching this, but you're very welcome. Today's masterclass is confident communication in the boardroom. This is not purely about communicating confidently in the boardroom, it's also any professional presentation type situation. So you might be presenting the marketing strategy to your management, or it might be to a potential customer, or any other, maybe doing a presentation to someone completely different. But nevertheless, all of this information is really useful for non-native English speaking professionals. Okay, so introduction to boardroom communication. Boardrooms can be any number of different sizes, shapes, configurations. Um, the idea of a boardroom is a place for the board of directors to meet. Now, that can take place in many different places. So it's not just about a really formal desk with lots of very formal looking chairs around. So the objectives and goals for today is to understand boardroom dynamics, build confidence in communication, to enhance presentation skills, improve verbal and non-verbal communication, handle Q&A sessions with ease, develop strong interpersonal communication skills, and increase cultural sensitivity and boardroom etiquette. Okay, sound exciting? What is a board of directors? They are simply a panel of people who are elected, so they are voted for to represent shareholders. That's why they are there, to represent the shareholders of the company. So, with this in mind, what do? They have 5 key roles. Most importantly is the one in the center. They represent the interests of the shareholders, most importantly. They are also in charge of ensuring compliance is in place with legal and ethical standards to make sure the company is operating legally and ethically. They help to set the overall direction and strategy of the company, making sure that the shareholders have some connection with how the company is going and what direction it's headed in. They will also oversee and hire senior management. And finally, monitoring financial performance. So these are the key roles that they take part in. The common structure of a board of directors consists of both internal members and external members, also known as executive directors and non-executive directors. You will hear both titles. Simply means executive directors are employees that work for the company, high-level employees that work for the company, often including the CEO, possibly the CFO, COO, and any key members of the staff. Non-executive members or external members are not employees. They are not paid by the company to do their work. So they will often be experts in maybe specific industry areas, or they offer something that is lacking within the internal members. So there might be a certain type of expertise, perhaps on compliance or recruitment, something like that. So they offer an area of expertise that's not covered within the employees. Okay. The structure. So one of the board of directors will be nominated the board president, and they basically run the meetings. Obviously, the vice president is next, and then you have the board members. So you have a secretary who perhaps will be in charge of taking the minutes, audit committee chair, CFO, COO, different other members. So, but most importantly, you've got the board president who runs the meetings, and the vice president is there to back up the board president. Okay. So, when you are in a situation where you have to present to the board of directors, it can be really intimidating and really daunting because you go into a very professional situation and they are all looking at you. And if English is not your first language, that might add to the nerves and the lack of confidence before you go in and when you get in. So think about what you can do to build your own confidence. That might be that you are envisaging success. You might be practicing. You might be doing anything you can do to build confidence within yourself. Okay. Part of building confidence is competence, knowing that you're doing the right thing, knowing that you know what you're talking about. And often my students know what they're talking about. They are just unable to communicate it in English or don't feel confident communicating in English. So, when it comes to going into a boardroom, you need to think about which language skill you find most challenging and spend some time working on that skill. Because if you find listening the most challenging, then doing some practice of listening, particularly if they have a specific accent that you struggle with, try and practice that skill before you go into the boardroom. You can absolutely research the people that will be in there. I suggest you do so and get really prepared. The more prepared you are, the more competence you'll feel and the more confidence you'll feel. Okay. So try and work on your language barriers. You all know how to improve your language skills. Think about this very specifically. What do I need to really work on before I go into this board meeting? Making a presentation is not something you can just throw at the wall and hope for the best, especially when it's not in your native language. So, you need to prepare that presentation in a way that you will feel confidence with your competence. You see where this is going. So, you need to organize that presentation so you have an introduction. Think about who is your audience, particularly if you are a non-native speaker and you are dealing with perhaps other non-native English speakers in an international boardroom setting. Your audience is one of your key elements. So you need to think about who you're talking to. Avoid using jargon if avoid using jargon if you're not sure the level of everyone else's English. If they're all English speakers, then you know that you can absolutely go for using as much jargon as you like. But if they are not native English speakers, think about the jargon element. Don't think about speaking in advanced English. Think about how your message, your key message, will be received. So, your audience and then your key message. What do you actually want them to hear? Okay. So, those are the two main areas, but obviously, there's a lot more involved in writing a really good presentation. Think about your non-verbal communication. We have some examples there, and obviously, silly face says one thing, it doesn't scream professionalism. Um, the guy in the middle, he's obviously looking very doubtful, doesn't really believe much of what he's listening to. And the lady on the left is looks like she's really not interested in hearing what you've got to say. So when you are in a situation where you are ready to make a presentation, think about other people's verbal and non-verbal communication in addition to your own. Okay. So it's all about the audience, how they're responding to you, and in addition to that, how you are responding to other speakers as well. So think about that situation too. So how are others responding to you and how is your presentation? You do not want to be making a presentation like this. You don't want to be reading from a piece of paper. You want to be able to speak openly and knowledgeably about your key message. Okay. Handling question and answer session. So it's not just about communicating the information, it's about preparing for any questions that you can expect. Now, if you actually sit and think about, okay, I know for sure they're going to ask me about this, they're going to ask me about that. So think about what may they ask and prepare for those as well. Okay, it's all about preparation in any kind of situation like this. Prepare, you can never over prepare. So prepare as much as possible. When you are not actually speaking, you need to be an active listener because this will give a really good impression. If you sit there with your arms crossed, looking around the room or up at the sky, that shouts, okay, this person is really not taking a lot of interest. So being an active listener is as important as being a great speaker when it comes to boardroom situations. Boardroom situations may well include an opportunity to network afterwards or beforehand. And this is a fantastic way of increasing your profile within the business and building relationships with other members of the board or, or other people within your business, within your company. It's a fantastic opportunity and should not be ignored. So go prepare your small talk to make with other with the board members that you may well get an opportunity to meet. So find a little bit about them and try and prepare some things that you might want to say and your own answers to the same questions, just in case someone says, "How about you?" Okay. Cultural sensitivity. If you are in an international setting, please do some research about the different cultures that you will be encountering and make sure that you don't offend someone accidentally. It's all about research. Who are your audience? Where are they from? What rules do they have of etiquette? And how can you make sure that you incorporate those into your presentation, into your actions? This is something that's so often overlooked and it's so important. Okay. One of the most important things you can do at the end of any business situation, this is in English or in your own native language. What went well? What didn't go well? And how can you improve next time? Improving next time is all about what went well, do more of that. What didn't go so well, do less or none of that. If you need help with vocabulary and things like that, then get it before your next event. Because the idea of business is you do things well again and again, and you try and reduce the things that did not go so well. Okay, so this was quite a short session giving you an introduction into boardroom dynamics, how a board works and who's involved, how to build your confidence in communication. It's all about competence. Enhance your presentation skills, improve your verbal and non-verbal communication, handle Q&A sessions with ease and confidence, develop strong interpersonal communication skills, and increase cultural sensitivity and boardroom etiquette. If you follow these rules, you will find your next boardroom situation much easier, less, and you will feel less fearful. It's all about preparation. Prepare and prepare for not only the things that you want to say, but things that other people will say to you. Make sure that you know all about your audience. Because if your audience don't hear your message because of lack of clarity, perhaps they don't understand the jargon that you used, then it's a waste. The whole situation is a bit of a waste of time. So try and make sure that everyone understands your key message. And grabbing opportunities to speak in these kind of situations is a fantastic way of assuring your next promotion, because the people that are at the top of your game know that you make amazing presentations, that you know that you're an expert in your field, and you feel confident dealing with people at a higher level. So you're getting prepared for your next promotion. Okay, so I actually have an offer for you. This is something that has not been offered in the past, and I'm opening up a wait list to create a group presentation skills course. This course will include what to include in your presentation, how to analyze your key audience. Who are they? What would you like to tell them? What vocabulary to use? What idioms would be useful? Phrasal verbs. What phrases could you incorporate into your presentation that will be clear and easy to understand and that will give you confidence when you use them? This course will teach you how to get your message across clearly and professionally. How to conquer your nerves is a big one. When you have the clarity of what you're going to present, you know it's the right information, you know it's the pronunciation is correct and the vocabulary is correct, you will feel that your nerves will reduce. And most importantly, you will prepare and make your own presentation on a subject of your choice. Now, this could be, and I would highly recommend it, could be something that you would like to edit for your own company, for your own career and your own job. So it could be a presentation to if you sell chairs. You know, I love talking about chairs. If you sell chairs, then you could make a presentation around presenting your chairs to a local company moving in who wishes to potentially purchase a large number. So you will present, you'll prepare, get feedback, present, get feedback, and then you will have the opportunity to present again. Because obviously, when you make your first presentation and you receive feedback, going back to the review, you need to what worked, what didn't work, make alterations, and then you can make a fantastic presentation. The price for this course is €189. This will be a 2-session course. So the first session, you will be making your own first presentation, and I'll go through the mechanics of it. And then the second one will be doing the presentations, doing the feedback, and presenting again. So each session will take approximately 2 hours, depending on how many people want to make more than one presentation. Okay? And as I said, the wait list is open. I want you to send me a message directly if you're interested. and it will take place at the end of July. So they will be, it's €189 for the 4 hours of training. Obviously, during that time, you'll be able to ask all the questions that you want, get all the clarification that you want. So we will basically make your presentation as this will be a group course. So you will not only do your own presentation, but you'll also see others, which is also really useful, and see feedback from them as well. And you'll be able to make a presentation that you can then change a bit. You can tweak it to change into different presentations that will be useful for your career moving forwards. Because a presentation, once you have the key elements, it's a piece of cake. So I hope that you have found this very useful. If you have any questions, please feel free to get back to me and just ask any questions that you have about the information that I've given. And if you've got any feedback, I'd be very grateful to receive that too. As always, as I have advised you to do, for me, when I make a presentation, I like to get feedback. And I will now go away and say what went well, what didn't go well, what can I do better next time? Okay? Thank you, and have a wonderful day.